This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to talk today about psychosocial survival theory and so much more. And you're like, what does this all mean? Well, don't worry. We have our expert here, of course, ready to share. Ross W. Hackerson joining us today. Also, director of An Affair of the Heart, has a therapy coaching practice and so much more. So we're going to dive into some serious stuff today, as always. Talk a little bit about attachment and basically psychological survival theory. So first and foremost, tell us a little about who you are and what you do. Thank you.
So thanks, Jill. Good morning. It's like been one of those mornings. This connection stuff on technology really is amazing. So I'm the director of An Affair of the Heart. An Affair of the Heart is a collaborative group of therapists, coaches. We work with individuals, families, couples. We work with addictions. We work with relapse and recovery. And I would say that when you work with us, you get the group that has a lot of experience and many different approaches. So we're located around the country. We're on the East Coast, on the West Coast, no one in the middle at this point. But we do have therapists and coaches on both coasts.
And
what else can I tell you? What else can I tell you there? That and I happen to be the director. I'm the old guy. And try to help keep it coordinated. How's that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm excited to hear. So, you've been talking about the psychological survival theory. What is that? And, PPPs or persistent personal patterns and also attachment. So we're going to work on all of this today. So tell us a little overview about what to expect.
So I think what I want to talk about first, and I think this is sort of the crux of the thing. I want to talk about psychosocial survival theory, which is, why we do what we do as humans. And then I want to bring it back around and talk about attachment and how we put it into attachment. And Jill, I have to admit, I've been struggling to find really good examples for this. So this may be a little bit more, maybe fewer examples, and I will try to put them together. So where do I start? Let's start with that idea of psychosocial survival theory. You and I have talked about the first rule of life many times. So the first rule is survive. And the corollary of that is that all behaviors are survival behaviors. So why would we even worry about surviving? Well, we're born helpless. We're born needy. And our first step is we have to survive. And we have to learn what to do to survive, right? And that's very dependent on the people that we live with. So one of the questions that I always ask is, how do you know whether you're surviving or not?
Yeah.
How do you know whether what you're doing is enhancing your survival or taking it in the wrong direction?
Yeah.
Jill, how would you know?
I wouldn't know. I mean,
Oh,
I don't know.
so exactly. You're saying, I'm really not sure how I know whether my behavior is enhancing my survival or limiting it.
Okay.
Well, let me say that you do know. If let's get real basic. If you touch a hot stove, what happens?
Ow, I feel it.
You feel it. And what do you feel? Pain. So is that enhancing your survival or in limiting?
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Yes.
So we know what we're doing is enhancing our survival or limiting it by the feelings that we have. Make sense?
Yeah.
So if you really talk about the body, the feelings are pretty straightforward. You touch the hot stove, you recoil. You do the wrong thing and hurt yourself, you experience pain. You don't do that anymore as much as possible. If you feel good, do you do it again?
If it feels good, yes. If it doesn't,
Absolutely.
no.
I
Yeah.
think we talked about that. If it feels good, it is good. And why is it good? Because if it feels good, it means that we're doing something that's enhancing our survival.
Mm-hmm.
I know if you start thinking addictions right away, we're going to be in trouble here. So don't go there. Just stay with, well, I keep this simple. If it feels good, it is good. If it feels bad, it is bad. Now, these feelings that we have about good and bad are not haphazard.
Hmm.
They actually fall into categories, um, which are artificial, of course, and man-made. That the categories in which we actually feel feelings that tell us whether we're doing well or not are
Yeah.
the areas of existence. You have feelings about existence, identity, safety, agency, power and control, right? So we literally have a feeling that tells us whether we're moving in the right direction or the wrong direction, whether
Mm-hmm.
we're moving towards survival or away from that. So how far can a baby move?
Oh yeah.
All
Not
right.
not far.
Right. So the baby's experience is actually internal to a great
Mm-hmm.
extent. And the baby has to let us know whether they're experiencing positive or negative, and they do that with behavior. So the question, well, what stands out for me, Joe, is the baby can reach and screech, or the baby can go away.
Okay.
And we're going to get there. We're going to talk about that more as we go along. The baby, though, lets us know what its needs are. Now, babies live in a social matrix. Well,
Okay.
that's a big word, Ross.
It
Babies
is.
live in a family, right? And so, what kinds of things are babies responding to in terms of survival theory? They're responding to their parents.
Mm-hmm.
They're letting their parents know whether they need them or not.
Yeah.
So, I don't know your history, Jill, but I would say, okay, if I were asking you what went on in your life, I would say, well, were your parents pretty responsive or were they not responsive?
Responsive.
Those are the kinds of questions I would
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah.
And we start to learn what the person had to do in order to get their parents' approval.
Mm.
If your parent approves of you, does that feel good?
Of course.
Yes. So we would move towards that, right?
Yeah.
If your parents are upset with you, does that feel good?
No.
Oh, no, 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 no. Of course not. So we tend to move away from that. Um, I want to stay on topic, and my mind goes in so many directions. We'll slow down. So if your parent is very responsive, available, responsive, and engaged,
Yeah.
that tends to feel good. If your parent is not available, is not responsive, and is not engaged, that tends to feel bad. And we try to move away from that. We're learning how to behave in order to survive in a social situation, which is our family, which is our basic relationship with our mom and our dad. And I think that brings us to
Okay.
attachment theory. Now, attachment theory, I have a great quote about that. How did I say it? So, right. Skip to the chase, Ross. Attachment theory formulates whether a person has a positive, secure attachment
Okay.
or a negative, insecure attachment. That's what you hear, right? Jill,
Yeah.
Have you heard this over and over, or have you heard it once or twice?
Once or twice.
Once, right. So people, I got a call the other day. My spouse is in this terrible, insecure attachment, and I don't think I can live with it.
Okay.
And I'm going, oh, well, let's see. What does that mean? From outside, what would I see if I saw an insecure attachment person?
Yeah.
Right? I would see somebody who acts just like, quite often, someone who has a secure attachment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are you going to ask me how that is? How can that be, Ross? Well,
Yeah.
this is Joe. So Bowlby put this together. I have to go sideways a little bit. John Bowlby put this together in the 1950s as a developmental theory, saying, okay, how do children learn to be in the world? How do they learn to deal with the world? And who do they have to deal with first? They have to deal with their parents. They have to deal with how their parents treat them, or what it takes to make their parents treat them well. So his statement was that people tend to be securely attached or insecurely attached. Oh, so what does that mean? From the outside, Jill, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
You and I would see people behaving the same. So we have to do this. Let's assess them and see whether they're secure or insecure. And again, I have to come back to, sounds like I'm going around in circles here. How do we tell the difference? Externally, we don't. It's the internal experience of the person that makes the difference. There, I finally got it out, Jill.
You got it. I love
At a
it.
high level, the difference between secure and insecure attachment is literally about how the person experiences safety, connection, and reliability in relationships, especially when they're stressed, right? Attachment theory literally describes how the individual's psychosocial relationship system, well, their psychosocial survival system, if you would, is organized around safety and connection for survival. Now I'm getting there. Is this making better sense?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Well, if we think about it as an internal experience, a securely attached person carries an internal experience, an expectation that others are going to be there for them, and that others, now, when I say others, Joe, I'm talking about significant others. I'm not talking about your man on the street. I'm talking about your mom, your dad, your spouse, your significant other. If your internal experience, starting in childhood, starting in babyhood, is that significant other is there for you, that significant other is actually available,
Mm-hmm.
responsive, and engaged, then your internal experience is what we would call a secure attachment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, my view of, in that case, I want to divide this up into my view of others
Okay.
and my view of myself, because we all have that internal narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So when I come back down to, is my internal experience that you're available, responsive, engaged? If I say that about you, oh yes, my significant other is available and there for me, then I can feel secure on the inside. I can
Okay.
feel existent. I can feel I have an identity. I can feel safe. So my view of myself is, oh, my survival seems pretty secure here.
Mm-hmm.
That's secure attachment. Now let's flip it on the other side. What if your parent, your significant other, was not available? What if your significant other was not engaged and was not responsive?
Yeah.
We call this comes right out of emotionally focused therapy, by the way, ARE, available, responsive, and engaged. If that person, your significant other, is not available, responsive, and engaged, then you literally have an internal question and an internal expectation and experience that is different. It's like, oh my gosh, am I going to be okay or not? We would call that insecure attachment.
Yeah.
Interesting, right? What we found, I like this number, by the way. What we found with the research is that a parent has to be available, responsive, and engaged about 30% of the time
Mm-hmm.
to actually create secure attachment. 30%, Jill.
Wow.
That means that your parent can flake out 70.
Totally. 70% of the time? That's insane.
Is that not amazing?
Yeah.
And so that's what we get is people say, well, secure versus insecure. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
It really does. If you're insecurely attached, you're walking around with an insecure experience. My significant other, my view of my significant other is that they may not be there for me.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. Jill, that's a trauma experience.
Sure is.
And if it's on a minor level, it's an ongoing everyday trauma experience, which organizes my inside experience differently than if my parent is just available 30% of the time. I'm going to give you a really good example. I think we talked about Ed a while back, and Ed is a conglomerate. So when I talk about Ed, I'm talking about several people all put together. The Ed I'm thinking about at this point, his father was a military man. His father was raised in an orphanage. His father grew up in a situation in which he had to follow the rules or he was out.
Mm-hmm.
His father grew up in a situation in which he was just not emotionally responded to. It was an
Okay.
orphanage.
Yeah.
So Ed's father was a really, really good man. He just had no ability to be emotionally engaged. So what did Ed take from that? Oh, my father's not available. My father's not responsive. My father's not engaged. That is that internal expectation that creates insecure attachment. Now, I just want we're looking at 30%. So in Ed's father's case, being a good person, following the cultural rules, he was there taking care of Ed, playing with him, playing ball with him, following the cultural rules. He was not emotionally available. The father's energetic was not one of connection and availability, responsiveness, engagement, but he was there. Let's switch to Ed's mother for a minute. His mother was uh, what I would call the epitome of self-reliance,
Yeah.
where she came from, you took care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about neglect.
Yeah.
It wasn't even about benign neglect.
Mm-hmm.
His mother was there if he needed her, but she was really, really clear about whether or not he really needed her. So she was like the 30%. She was there when needed. The rest of the time, take care of yourself, kid. So what did Ed grow up with? He grew up with a secure attachment,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can stay on track here, Joe.
You're good.
So Ed grew up with a secure attachment with up to 30%, not 100, not there all the time, mommy, not there all the time, daddy, but a 30%.
Okay.
Now, since his mother insisted on self-reliance, Ed often felt like she wasn't available and that his needs didn't matter. So Since his mother was be self-reliant, he often felt like his wants and needs were not going to get met.
Okay.
By the way, we know that 30% of the time she was there, and they were often
Okay.
enough that he is functioning with secure attachment. On the outside, though, what we see is avoidant attachment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh,
Oh,
he
wait.
organizes around his internal experience is organized around not wanting or needing that other person because he's not sure. 70% of the time, it gets blown off.
Yeah.
So he's just really not sure. 30% of the time, he gets taken care of. So we know that's enough that he is secure. But what do we see from the outside? We see what looks like insecure avoidant attachment. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say, is Jill, you had that look like you're saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
Something is clicking. Can you tell me what's clicking in there?
Detachment and attachment. Ah, yeah. Been there.
Okay. When you say you've been there, what you're saying is, okay, you probably recognize the same thing in your life. They were
Yeah.
there, but on the other hand, you may have some internal questions about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get personal at this point. Let me keep going.
Sure, sure, sure.
I want to stay with Ed. So Ed is a secure attachment that looks like an avoidant attachment.
Okay.
Got it? Now,
Oh, did I lose you?
no,
There you go.
I was just stopping to think of that. I wanted to give you another example.
Sure.
Of us of us. Oh, let me talk about Pam. Pam is a secure attachment, but she is a anxious attachment.
Okay.
Now, in Pam's family, I talked about Ed's family. In Pam's family, her mother was there when Pam was demanding. So Pam's mother was one of those people who was like, "Oh yeah, baby, I love you. I love you. I'm busy right now, thank you." And
Mm-hmm.
she would be out. But Pam learned to go say, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, mommy." Remember when we talked about the still face experience, where the baby has to reach and screech, but finally gets mother's attention?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
I can review that just a second because this is Pam's mother. So it's a very interesting video. It's 2.5 minutes. If anyone wants to watch it, you go on YouTube and look up the still face experience or experiment with Ed Tronick.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So in the still face experiments, mom comes in with the baby. Baby sits in the high chair. Mom faces the baby, and
Mm-hmm.
mom is playing with the baby.
Yeah.
And the experimenter says, "Okay, turn away now." And mom turns her face away. And then she turns her face back, and she is completely a blank wall.
Yeah.
The baby freaks out, right? "Mommy, where did you go? Mommy, come back." Turns into, "Mommy, come back," reach and screech. The baby gets so upset that the baby literally has a physiological meltdown.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. At which point, of course, the experimenter says, "Okay, turn around, be nice again." And mom interacts with the baby again, and the baby comes back, and they get in sync again.
Yeah.
Now, this is not about secure or insecure attachment. It's about a style of
Okay.
attachment. That style that the baby has learned is, if I reach and screech, if I get upset, I can get
Mm-hmm.
mommy's attention.
Oh yeah. How smart. I know. I
Do
know.
you know that one, Jill?
Yes, I do. Guilty.
So the baby has now learned how to be an anxious attachment. Well, this is Pam's mom.
Okay.
Pam's mom was there for Pam, but Pam had to really make a fuss about it. She had to be demanding. She had to be Mom, you're not doing what I want you to do. She had to be critical. Now, Pam's mom was there. She was there more than 30% of the time, actually, more than Ed's. So Pam had a secure attachment. Oh, by the way, Pam's dad was a regular businessman, off working too many hours. Mr. I'm taking care of the family. So he wasn't around much, but he was available when he was around. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, come and sit next to daddy. He was emotionally expressive. He was available, responsive, engaged. So Pam's attachment is literally secure. Her attachment style
Mm-hmm.
is pursuer, is we call anxious, right? When the baby has to reach and screech in order to get mom's attention, and sometimes does and sometimes doesn't get mom's attention, what the baby learns is to be anxious. Can I really trust that mom's going to be there? Well, I guess I can. But what if she's not? Of course, mom is there.
Yeah.
But the internal organization is around internal organization is around making sure mom's there
Mm-hmm.
with that anxious pursuer pattern. Now, looking at Pam's mom and dad, they were there, available, responsive, engaged, enough, much way more than 30%. So Pam was securely attached, but she was also had an attachment style, which was anxious. Can I really trust this attachment? So
Yeah.
she was a pursuer. She was a reacher and screecher. I'm trying to stay on track here.
We're
Um,
good.
am
we
I,
got
am I so far? And
we
how,
got
where are
two
we
more
in time?
minutes. We're good.
How many more?
Two more.
Oh, we're good. So I haven't even gotten into
I
to
know.
the other patterns, but I want to recap this just a minute. So you can have secure or insecure attachment.
Yeah.
The attachments, the actual attachment is a description of the person's internal experience
Okay.
around being connected to a significant other on whom they are dependent for survival. Wow, sounds like a school teacher here.
It does.
Um, right? So that internal experience of the securely attached person is I can depend on you. I think you'll be there. And yeah, I'm secure.
Yeah.
Now, maybe you're like Ed, who was secure, but mom was like, take care of yourself, kid. Dad was not emotionally available. Dad was insecure. That,
Mm-hmm.
that energetic was that Ed was secure, but in his environment, it looked as if his wants and needs and feelings didn't matter.
Yeah.
So, what kind of behavior would we see on the outside? We would see the avoidant style.
Yeah.
He is the shut down, go hide in his man cave, um, internally oriented, securely attached person that looks like an avoidant. So am I making this work, Jill?
Yes.
That you can be secure and look like you're avoidant or that you're anxious. The anxious and avoidant,
Yeah.
to go just a little sideways, are actually examples of those persistent personal patterns we talked about.
Yeah.
Those patterns have been how the child has learned to get what they want. Now we got it. If the person is insecure, that means their internal experience is not that others are going to be there for them.
Yeah.
Their internal experience is there's not going to be anybody there. Jill, this creates a much more fragile human being.
I'm sure.
Um, Again, they can be insecure and look avoidant the way they handle their insecure parent.
Yeah.
Attachment is they go away, their feelings, wants, and needs are not important. or they can be anxious. Oh, yeah, I can get what I want if I reach and screech. But again, it's a difference in their internal experience.
Sure is. All right. Well, we have to go. I'm so sorry. We are now over time, but it's exciting that we got
I'm so
more
sorry,
than
Joe.
it's okay. It's okay. How
I
do we reach out
ramble.
to you?
Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Anything I need to, I know you're next question you're going to ask. You can contact me by phoning me 413-210-3739. That's Ross Hackerson, 413-210-3739. You call me, I'll talk to you. And I will answer the phone if I'm available. Most therapists, their answering machine is the answering machine. I am my answering machine when possible. The other thing is, if you want to know more about me and the other folks that are in the An Affair of the Heart Collaborative, go on our website, anaffairoftheheart.us. That's .us.
Perfect.
Anaffairoftheheart.us.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Have a fantastic day. Gotta run. Bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.